Hello everyone. I've been working on a little game for the past month and I've shared its development on my other socials like Blue Sky, Instagram, and today I'd like to keep you up to date on YouTube. So this is going to be a simple narration of the various short clips that I've made on these other social media. This isn't going to be a complicated video, not going to do much editing, still mostly focused on the development, so I don't want to take too much time making this video. And I'll address the lack of upload for the past 2 months and the previous peculiar upload. But for now, let's just jump into the devlog. So as I've said, I'm working on a new game. The main premise is that it's a web fishing inspired multiplayer fishing game about exploring this infinite ocean covered in fog. The game would have a liminal, calm vibe, mostly inspired by liminal music like the work of Knons, which is wonderful artist, and images of just generally foggy, empty spaces, like the one that I'm probably showing on screen right now. I like to take this web fishing, these fun social interactions, and apply them to this vibe. It's like the main gameplay loop I'm envisioning sees you boating around the ocean until you come across an island. And maybe there's some people fishing on one of the docks, so you dock your ship and you join them. You fish on the island, chatting about stuff, facing the endless fog. And maybe at some point you see a ship emerge from the fog. It docks on the island, someone comes out and comes fishing too. I'm not gonna, you know, talk about the entire thing, but you get the idea. I'm interested in making something with a strong vibe, basically. So with this in mind, I started working on the game. And here we're gonna get to the clips. These are short, minute-long videos that I made to post on Blue Sky and Instagram as a way to share the game's development. I first started with the ship's controller. As you can see, it's got smooth turning, acceleration, deceleration, all that jazz. Then I make a vertex shader for the water with random noise for a texture, nothing too complex. No good, mind you. This is my very first shader after all, so it's not insane or anything, but I think it turned out well. After that, I coded the player's character using this cat with a hoodie sprite. Quite happy with how it turned out, really fits the vibe I'm going for. I also implemented the fishing mechanic. Every good fishing game needs a good core mechanic, and I'm quite happy with the one I ended up with. It's pretty simple. You press the keys in the opposite direction that the fish is pulling. From time to time, it'll switch direction. If you pull correctly, the fish goes up, otherwise, the fish goes down. Just do that enough until you catch it. It's simple stuff, but there's a lot of potential in terms of developing this system further. After that, I added an inventory, and I like the idea of using interactive UI elements that you can play with and move around potentially with your mouse. So like for example here, I made a little bag that's filled with all the fishes that you catch, and you can wriggle it around and play with it. It's pretty fun. I'm looking forward to making more of these UI interactions because they're really fun to make. So now we have arrived at the part that you potentially saw. The next thing I worked on is some level design, starting with the an island and then a little structure, a pool like the one you see in those liminal pool renders. And so I worked on the first room and I went like, oh, that'll make a nice scene if I add some stuff and I improved the lighting and I did this fog shader that I made yesterday but that I didn't like but that actually looks quite good here. And oh, and how about I export it as a 30-minute video and I add music to it because it'll make banger footage for a music company. And now I've got like a 600 video that came out of nowhere. Oh, and while I'm at it though, I'd like to thank all of the ones that watched it. I was quite surprised by the fact that it actually was being recommended to people properly and that it was watched by many. I mean, 600 views doesn't seem like that much in today's economy, but for a small YouTuber like myself, it's actually quite amazing. It's kind of why I'm making this video. I want to keep the ball rolling in a way, but more on that at the end of the video. Okay, so we're getting to the final clips. This is the last week of development as of today, and it's quite a significant one. I started making a schedule for my work in general, organizing a lot more how I work on projects, and this is the first week of that, and it went pretty well. On Monday, I remade the throwing part of the fishing, like I added an actual bobber you can throw in the water and a little camera that shows it from the top. I want for the player to be able to fish from cliffs or other weird places, and since you need to be able to see the bobber to fish, like it's the fishing UI is on the bobber and not like a UI on the screen, like in Webfishing, for example. Having a camera that shows the bobber at all times allows me to be just a lot more quirky with the fishing spots because that's something I really want to implement. On Tuesday, I improved how types of fishings are handled, with data that changes how each fish reacts when it's being caught. So fishes that may be harder or easier take longer to fish, or might change direction more often. So that way I can have more different types of fish that feel different to catch. I also added a ramp to the boat to get back on it from the island, some crates that give materials to the player, that I can hide in structures, and all that kind of stuff. On Wednesday, I did some game design and level design work, just figuring out various kinds of fishes for an early prototype of the game, which is what I'm currently working towards. And I worked on the islands that the game currently has, making them better to explore and to find. And finally, on Thursday, I drew some sprites for the fishes that I designed earlier, and I'm pretty happy with the results. And so for now, that's it. I'll keep working on it slowly, working towards a first prototype that I can give to people to get some early playtest, and more on that when it's done. But for now, that marks the end of the devlog part of this video. I'll probably make some more vids like this one further down the game's development. I like to make some proper devlogs, like well edited and all that, like I used to do for Food Game. But for now, I don't really want to do this as the game is still very early in its development. But in the meantime, if you want to follow this game's development, you can follow me on Blue Sky and Instagram, because it's where I post these videos, and these clips were made for these websites originally, so you'll get more of that if you go there. A quick word on my channel: as you can see, I'm not the most consistent in terms of upload date, and in terms of the content I make, I don't ever intend to be consistent. Eventually, I'll post videos more regularly, though for now, I don't really want to. There hasn't been a video for the past 2 months except for the music compilation, and the reason why that is that I didn't really have a reason to make videos. And for now, that's kind of how I'll treat this channel. If I feel like making a vid, I'll make one. Else, I'll be working on some other stuff. So that's about it. I'll be active on Blue Sky all the time though, because it's easy to share stuff there. So if you wanna follow more of what I do, Blue Sky, I'm always active there. And I don't really want to drag this video much further. I hope you liked it. This one was a lot chiller than usual. I don't want to put much effort into it. For as much as I like making highly edited quality videos, I feel like in cases like this one, it's much better to just not try and make an entertaining video and focus more on making an video that's easy to produce and that gives information. That's more something that you can watch to get some information on what I'm working on. I still hope it'll have been interesting, at least, though, even if it was potentially not the most entertaining. I'll get back to working now. Thanks for watching. And go listen to the artists, of which the music I've used in this video. They are really like the main inspiration for the game's style. They make some amazing stuff. So go watch their videos. All the links are in the description. And also, go follow Sledding Game on Instagram. That's the name of their account. They are an indie game dev that's working like on a similar Webfishing like game, and that the main inspiration for this video style, and most importantly for the project, like watching their videos on Instagram and how they made the game, really pushed me to start making a game like this on my own. So the game looks really cool. Go wishlist it on Steam. All the links are in the description. This guy does some amazing stuff, and that's about it. Yeah, so I'll see you whenever we meet up next, and in the meantime, I hope you're having a great day. Goodbye.